Hello, dear friends. How is everyone doing today? I hope you are having a wonderful day out there. We are going to be working today with Majestic Mountains. So I made my son a birthday card and I really liked how it came out. And he doesn't generally watch these, so I can kind of share it and don't have to worry he's going to see it ahead of time. And if he does, it's okay. It's all right. But I just want to kind of look at you can use mask with stencils as well as putting colors on different cardstock. You are going to get different effects. And I think we forget that sometimes. We grab that white really quickly and we're like, let's make a card. So today, let's look at some different papers and color combinations and such of that. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited you are all here. Let's put the camera down. Because we can't make this. So let's make this. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and take the brightness down just a scotch. There we go. Okay, I have so much stuff on my desk today. And at the last minute, literally at 10 seconds, I grabbed this because I think this will be a nice addition to the card we make today. Because we're masking with stencils. So, and we don't have a stencil mask. So this is the card I created for my son's birthday. So I used our parchment cardstock and I used Cherry Sweet, Tangerine Dream, and Lemonade Stand there. And this is all Martian terrain in here for the colors. But again, putting it on that parchment, it came out so pretty. So I wanted to share that with you. So the things that I grabbed today, I obviously grabbed my Majestic Mountains stencil, but I also grabbed the Pine Forest. Hopefully we can work that in. I'll have to grab some greens because I literally like 10 seconds was grabbing that. Blending tools, of course, for my inks here. I believe these are in the sale section as well, guys. These colors, I believe, are in the weekly sale section. So check that out. I browsed really quickly because if you browse too long at Altenew, you have a cart. I don't know if that happens to you guys too. Like you have a really full cart. And then my circle stencil, I used a different circle, but any circle you have will work for this. So we have that. Then, of course, we have the Majestic Mountains. And I have my mask already, but I'll show you guys quickly today how to create one. So here was the top part, and then I just literally had the bottom. So keep them because you can use them again and again and again. This is the Altenew masking paper. And then I pulled out the parchment cardstock and possibly the pale gray. I thought that might be pretty if we used like the pinks on there. I thought that might be really pretty. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead. Let's do the parchment again. I think this time I'm going to mix and mingle the dried petals and the Martian terrain. It would help if I pulled the Martian terrain inks that I was going to use as well. So let me pull those right. They're right behind me because they never leave me. My mom got concerned one day because she's like, why do you keep talking about Martians? And I'm like, oh, no, it's just the ink colors. All right, so let's go for it. I'm going to bring out my filthy but loved and happy Altenew stamping mat. I've got some small blending tools for my Martian terrain and my dried petals. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and let's build our mountain. Okay. So we'll do our mountain first, then we'll add in the other pieces that we kind of have talked about. Let me bring down my lights a little bit more there. There we go. You guys can still see, but it's not like you don't need sunglasses at night here. All right. So let's get this on here. And again, I want to leave room for my sun up in the corner, meaning the sun, not my son. Ah, ha, 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 ha. I'm here all week with the corny mom jokes here. All right, so let's get some masking tape. Okay, just get this. Put it on my skin, not on my clothes, because here it would come back like very hairy because I live with very furry people. So I'm just going to put that down there. And then I'll put a smidge of a piece up there in the corner. Hello, everyone, as you're coming in. So excited to see you and craft again. Look at me. I'm rhyming. I have corny mom jokes. I'm doing pretty good for a Monday. Look at me go. All right. So hard decision here. Okay. All right. Okay. I think what we're going to do, it's these families, Martian Train and Dried Petals, in my humble opinion, I love them together. I don't know if you guys have tried it yet. I love it. I'm in love. You know, I've been in love with Martian Terrain, and I have not made a secret about how much I really enjoy the Dried Petals as well. So we're going to do this. We're going to start with Pastel Sunrise, okay, which really doesn't show up that much on this cardstock. Now you could, if you wanted to, two things. You could bring out your large blending tool, okay? And B, you can put this on really thick. Now, mine's a little splotchy, as you can see, but we're going to layer up over this. So I'm not worried. And this is going to soak into the paper. So if you want your Pastel Sunrise to be really dark, you're going to want to really put a good amount on there because it's going to dry back. But I think that is one of the beautiful things about using the parchment. Now let's, I always do this. I'm always like, let's do it. Let's go, right? That's, my son says that a lot. So apparently I taught him that growing up. I'm like, let's just go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Right? Let's do it. Let's do 2 cars. Let's give it a whirl. Okay. So we're going to just do this. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys are sharing. Oh, you guys have furry clothes syndrome too. I love the name. I might have to steal that, Kenzie. I love that name. Furry clothes syndrome. That is perfect. Now on my card, I'm aligning this stencil side over here. Okay. So when I'm going. All right. So this is the Pastel Sunrise on the gray. And as you can see already, because it's a different color, you can really notice it on here. But again, I'm going heavy-handed because I am heavy-handed. So even if I was trying to be light-handed, it's the struggle bus is real with the light-handedness. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a good dollop of Pastel Sunrise on here. But I really want you guys to see a couple of things today. I want you to bring out those, parchment's not really a dark cardstock, but bring out those colored cardstocks because it's really going to give you a differentiation so simply. So, Dexy found his toy. So I apologize if he's a little bit loud. Okay, now we're going to go to mauve. Okay, for stencil number 2, we're going to mauve. And you're like, what? Crazy talk. I know. It's wild, isn't it? So we're going to line this up right here. Okay. Now and so you can see the outline. Hopefully you guys can see that right there. Let me go in a little bit more. So see, you can see this is how I'm lining it up. Okay. So I've got that outline that I'm kind of following here. Okay. All right. So if you have vertigo or any challenges, look away. I'm going to go back out. There we go. I should have warned you when I was going to go in. I'm sorry. All right. So tape this down. Okay. Now we're going to go with the mauve. We're going to mix the mauve in. And I know it's madness. It's wild. It's crazy. But that's what we do here when we craft together. You guys know it's always an adventure. So I don't think I've tried this combination exactly, but I do mix Dried Petals and Martian Terrain quite frequently. So every time I mix it, it seems to be different. I don't know if you guys watch Friends, but there was a time when I can't remember, Monica was making a list or something. She's like 1, 4, 4, 6, this. So it's kind of like that. Like I'll do, 1, 3, 4 of Martian Terrain and 2 of dried petals, or maybe I do 1, 3, 4 of dried petals and only 2 of Martian terrain, where they are in color order. So here this is coming together, okay? But just let's put the next layer on, and then I'll put them side by side so you can kind of see them. But this stencil too, if you're like, I haven't tried the stencils, I'm nervous about lining them up, I don't know. This is one that lines up super duper easy. This would be a good one for mass producing cards as well. So if you like to make card sets, or you have a group that you belong to, maybe you're in a book club and once a month you guys like to change it up and do like cards or something, this would be a good one. So let's go. I guess that should be our family motto. Let's go, because my son says it all the time too. I thought that was funny. He said it yesterday and I'm like, wow, I guess I know where he gets that from. Oh, he started a new job today, his dream job. At least for now, it's his dream job. It may be his forever dream job. I don't know, but for now it is. Okay. So we got this. Okay. And I may go back into the dried petals. I don't know. All right. So, but look at the difference. Just be blending on different cardstocks. It's such a subtle difference, but I think it's such a pretty difference as well. All right, so we'll leave this one here because it's there. And then when you get here, you have you can see the outlines right here, the etched outlines to help you line it up. So you can see mine kind of there. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I just use the mountaintops because they line up. And my theory is it's a mountain. So if I'm a little bit off, it's okay. It's a mountain. So it's it's going to look mountainous, and it's going to have valleys and peaks. And, so if I mess up a little bit, it's all right. It's a mountain. Yeah, it's a mountain. All right. So here we go. Yes, like the Let's Go set from Altenew. Exactly. All right. I think what we're going to do, we're going to go burnt red. Okay. Then I think we're going to do Berrylicious. So let's do burnt red for this one. And if Berrylicious isn't dark enough against our burnt red, we'll go acai. I always say this wrong. Acai berry. No matter how much I practice, there are some words I just always get wrong. But sometimes with practice, it just takes your brain longer to kind of get it together, I think. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look how pretty. It is so coming together now. And I love, nobody would know, like we're mixing ink families, like cousins here, ink cousins, I call them, because they really could be. They really could. They work so well together. Love them together. Now, if your stencil's a little too messy for you to kind of line everything up, feel free to clean it at this point. Like I said, if I'm a little off, I'm okay. It's all right. I'm close. I'm in the zone. So I'm okay with it. All right, so let's go ahead and blend this on. And then I think, let's try the Berrylicious because it's such a pretty color. But if it's not dark enough, we can always go up to the acai berry. If I'm saying that wrong, I don't know. It does, doesn't it? It's just, oh my gosh. And the mix. Now, if you wanted to do this on some white cardstock and you are a Valentine kind of person, that would be stunning, gorgeous. Or if your partner, spouse has a favorite color, I mean, come on, gorgeous, any favorite color. So, but I think today, of course, I want to highlight the gorgeousness of the Majestic Mountains. And I want to put together different families and show you, grab those different families and start mingling them together. And then see what you get. If it doesn't work out, or if you're like, whoa, that color combo is not my jam, at least it's not your jam, So here we go. Okay. So now let's try Berrylicious. I think it's going to work. Like I said, I mix these two, but I don't always mix them the same way. So we'll see if this works. If not, we can always use the acai berry. That's going to be my way of saying it. Oh, goodness. I keep flipping my inks over, but that's okay. It just makes me more colorful. I don't know if I need more color, but I bring a lot of color to the table already, but that's okay. Oh, goodness. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we may need to bring the darkness. Now, the other thing is, say you put this on and you're like, I really like that. I think that's really pretty. But, I might like to add some of the acai berry or the mahogany bark, either one. Get your detail blending tools out and you can add in some detail. Look at that. Look how gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right. Now, if I was doing this on the same color cardstock, I would change it up to show you using either the acai berry or the mahogany bark. But I'll let you guys have a play with that, because where I'm not using the same colored cardstock, it wouldn't be like, match for match kind of comparison. It would just be, here, I use two different inks and two different pieces of paper. So, all right. Here we go. But keep this in mind, and sometimes some of the families, the color that's at the 3 level, and what I mean by that is, so we have our inks, 1, 2, 3. We have the Frozen Delights and the Jewel Tones. You can add on to them. So if you do the third color in 2 families, sometimes you can layer them together. I did here, and I really like the result. Now, you may do a different family, and you're like, there's really not a lot of difference for me. I think I'm going to do it differently, and that's great too. So here is this one. So I'll put them back. Yes, this is the mountains. This is the Majestic Mountains. And so we're playing with a couple of different things. So I made this card for my son, and I really loved how it looked on parchment. So I kind of wanted to share that with you guys. I also wanted to share kind of mixing and matching some families. So we're mixing and matching dried petals with Martian terrain. And then if we can fit in, hopefully we can, we're doing pretty good. We still have 40 minutes. So I think we can fit in doing the pine trees as well. So look how beautiful this has come out so far. Let me grab a piece of masking. I just want to show you, I have my masks, which I think I can still use, but just, same color, same colors, but look at the effect you get. I mean, it blows my mind. It so blows my mind. Just changing your paper color gives you such a beautiful effect. So now to create a mask from a stencil, first you clean your stencil. Step 1, clean your stencil, because you don't want to put a dirty stencil anywhere. So I'm going to put my dirty rag down. This rag is actually clean. It's just loved. Just loved. Means I've used it, which is a good thing. Okay. Then you always want to use, I know you want to use the pretty side. I know you do. Don't do it. You want to use this side. Now, if you want to create the whole stencil, you can do that as well. So all you do is line your stencil up, and you can do this. I'll do this section. So all you do is come in, okay, and you're just going to trace your stencil, all right, that you want to mask. And the reason I'm doing number 1, A, there's less little fiddly bits, and B, because this is the largest open space on my stencil. So that means it's going to cover the most of my project. So actually, maybe I have the other 2 pieces that I can use, and that will be faster than having you watch me fussy cut this out. So here we go. Go down. It's actually pretty fun to trace. All right. The fussy cutting really wasn't bad. It didn't take me too long. Wasn't a bad, I'm not really a known for my love of fussy cutting. I don't think if somebody asks you, what's Bridget Casey's favorite thing, fussy cutting is going to be the first thing you guys think of. And I don't know who would ask you that question, but so here we go. Okay. So then, oh, blues. Yes. Blues. So then you can come in. Okay. And I'm going to leave just a little on each side. Okay. Now the other thing, this would be a cool shape on your card. So say you cut this and you cut this out, you cut all of it out, you could blend and have like a focal point to put some flowers or something. That's another option with this. So I think that would be a really, really great option as well. So when you get these, make sure you look at them and you say, what else can I do with that? Because what else can I do with that? You never know. All right, so let's go ahead and let's do our blending. So this is this piece. Okay, hopefully it will stick down okay. Because remember, the ink is not dry. So hopefully it will stick okay. The good part is, okay, because I'm going to take my circle. The good part is that I'm going to be holding this down. So as long as I blend this way, I'll be all set. I just want to make sure that's there. Okay, so I'm going to go, I think, right about here. Okay, so then we are going to bring back in my cherry sweet. Okay, I'm going to grab my little mini blending tool. I don't want my big fella this time or my smalls. Okay, and I'm just going to start blending, keeping in mind I don't want to come back. I want to go forward because this is not sticking. I think for a couple of reasons it's not sticking. One is because we just put a lot of ink on there, okay? And ink, although it dries quickly, it's not instantly. It takes time to soak into the paper. So I'm just going to be careful and cognizant of that. Now, this would be a bigger problem if I didn't use pinks and reds, but since I used pinks and reds, I'm not as concerned about it. It does look so realistic, doesn't it? And it's, my son went to law school in Colorado. So I love, he loves the outdoors. He loves the mountains. So I should have taped my circle stencil down too, though. Okay, so that's moving a little bit on me. I got a lot of movement here, and I don't necessarily want a lot of movement. All right, so here we go. Okay, and I'm not going to worry about the red that's already on there. And I'm staying away from, because I want to blend up my sunset. I can hold this down. Okay, and this, if you're doing this at home on your own time, you can allow it to dry. You can give it more time to dry. You don't have to worry about, you could leave it for like an hour and come back, and then you could blend the color out. So, okay. All right. So here we go. Just blend that on. And then we have our beautiful sunrise, sunset coming up there. Yes, Kenzie, I get that a lot. I actually do. That's something I get, especially when I say about. When I say about, that's what everybody's like. Are you from Canada? I'm like, nope, I'm from Maine. I'm close to Canada, but I'm from Maine. All right, so we have this. Okay, so we got one. Trying to get it off my mat here. Hold on. There we go. All right, so we have one with a sunset. And even this one is a little bit different because I used just Martian terrain on this one and I mixed in dried petals. So I almost feel like this has more definition in it, but still very pretty. All right, so let's come over with this one. Now, we have the same problem, okay, is that our ink is still a little wet. So our masking paper doesn't want to stick to wet. So we just have to be careful. It's no worries. It's no problem. Again, we're just going to be cognizant of it. Okay. This circle stencil is one of my favorite things, and I think one of my most versatile things in my alt new stash. I use it as like a focal point for flowers. I just love this circle stencil. It's fabulous. It's one of my top. It's in my bucket. You know how we have like supplies you reach for? I have my timeless sentiment dies, which are sold out right now, but love those. I have my circle stencil. I have my essential sentiment strips, which is a hot foil plate, which is where I got the happy birthday on my son's card. Okay. Trying to remember who used it, but the stencil. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Somebody here might know that answer to that question, though. All right. Here we go. And then again, our Tangerine Dream. Now, you can also use this. If that's not sticking, you can also like hold this down. This is the slippery part. This is where the sticky sits. This is the back. It's like a shiny material. So you could blend. You could put this there and you can blend on that as well if you wanted to do that. Okay, we need the orange Tangerine Dream. Tangerine Dream. I think is there a song Tangerine Dream? I don't know. It would be from the 60s, I think, if there was. Okay. A little before my time. I'm more of I do like 50s and 60s music. And I've been living in the 70s lately, so that's kind of where my musical life exists right now. All right. So we've got those. We've got our sunrise, sunset, all of our cards here. Okay, so I'm going to peel this up, and look how pretty that is. Oh, all right. So, and here we go. So we have both of our sunrise, sunsets. Okay, so this is where we're at right now. And because this is lighter, the colors really pop more. So, maybe it is. Maybe it is Tangerine Dream. I can't remember. I know it from, I'll have to put it in Google and find it. There we go. So we got those. So now my idea in the last few moments before class was to see if we can add some trees down here at the bottom. So that means that we need the mask bottom. Okay. So I wasn't going to fussy cut it out. I just saw it a second ago. I don't know what I did with it. Where did I put my mask? You guys saw me trace it. It was right here. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. It's probably under here. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to make sure what I need. I just need the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Hello. Yes, I think you could use this. And the other thing is, so say you're doing a color challenge and you have to have grays. How beautiful would that be to take Rock Collection on there and have all grays? I think that would be absolutely stunning. As you guys know how I feel about Rock Collection. All right, so I'm not going to bore you and make you watch me cut the whole thing, but I am going to go ahead and just trim out this here with my Altenew fine blade scissors, which are phenomenal. And it's bumpy, so it's not like it's a straight line. I get bored kind of when you're cutting along like a straight line. I lose interest quickly. And then because I'm trimming this, I could cut it off. But if I keep the bottom half, as you saw when I showed you the two pieces go together, sometimes it's useful because usually when I'm fussy cutting, I like to trim off all the extra paper. But doing that, you could lose the bottom mask. So because this will create two masks, but this would only be if you wanted to add like color at the bottom of the mountain if you use the bottom piece. So we won't really use that. We're going to use the one that's Going to block the mountains, so to speak, so we could add a few trees on there as well. All right. I love this masking paper. I don't mask a lot, but when I do, it's absolutely fabulous. Again, just remember, if you just were ink blending and it's not sticking, it's okay. Just, you could, I'm a purist when it comes to heat tools. I use it for embossing. I don't use it for drying. I just don't want to take away from my colors. I don't ever want to lose that vibrancy that I've had. So if I can, 99.9% of the time, I'm going to want to leave my colors alone and let them do their magic. I chose them because they're beautiful and I trust them to do their work. So I try to do that. All right. This should be, yeah, that should be enough. Okay. So, because I understand this is not the most exciting thing to watch. Yes, the grays would be amazing, but I always feel bad choosing grays with you guys because you guys know I'm like gray. Yeah, we went out, my mother and I went out shopping and I picked up a sweater and I was like, I don't know, it's gray. She's like, all you wear is gray. And I'm like, true. Now, if you don't want to peel the masking off it, you don't have to. Okay, you can do the same thing. So I can just leave this. Okay, I can put some satin masking tape to hold it there. And let's use, I'm trying to think of a good color. I think we're going to go, I'm looking at what I have here in the fresh dye inks because those are close to me. I think we're going to go with Forest Glades and Evergreen. Okay, we'll do a little magic with those. Okay, I'm going to leave off the frayed leaf. Now we're going to come over here. Okay, when this has masks that I just dumped all over the table, so I probably shouldn't do that. This is the Pine of Forest, and I apologize. I don't know if this is in stock. As I said, in the last 10 seconds, I was like, oh, pine trees. So I didn't have a chance to look and see. But it does, there's a matching embossing folder and it creates all of these beautiful pine trees. So really, really pretty. So definitely, and you get the positive and negative pieces on this stencil. So very exciting. Okay. So what we're going to do, because I've got this in place, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put it so the tree bottoms, I don't want the tree bottoms to show. So I'm lining that up at the bottom. I don't know how this is going to come out. This was a vision in my head. So I'm hoping that it comes out. Something to put on the wish list. There's always something to put on the wish list, right? I mean, I always say this. I'm like, January's the best release Alta News ever had. And then February comes and I'm like, February's the best release Alta News ever had. Every month we have the most amazing product designers. I don't know how they do it. They are so phenomenal. They are so phenomenal. All right. And this may not look like what I think it's going to look like. It could be possible. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the green in there. Okay. This is, like I said, I'm throwing this together last minute. And the worst case scenario is that I can come in and I can trim off my mountain if this does not work out the way I think it's going to. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in now with my evergreen. And the good news is we haven't messed up the gray card yet. So if this messes anything up, it'll be okay. Long as we have some tree tops. Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't speak. It's been such a good Monday. I can't even speak. It's such a good day. All right. So let's see. Before I cause any more trouble, let's see where we're at. All right. Let's see. Oh, look. Pretty. I mean, I probably should have done the tops of the trees. right, let's do some tree tops. Let's do a few tree tops here, okay? So we can fit those in. So hopefully it will fool people's eyes if they're looking and they're like, what is going on? They'll be like, oh, it's trees. I get it. It's trees. Oh, goodness. But this is why. So I like to do this stuff with you guys real time because this is how I craft. This is so how I craft. I'm like, oh, let's see if it'll work. And, I hope you do too. I hope you're like, let's throw caution to the wind, and let's see how it goes. And I think that adds an extra something to your card. I think that really kind of does it. And it is in stock. Thank you, Tina, for looking. Yes. And I mean, if you look at the Pine Forest stencil and embossing folder combo, OMG, the photos are amazing. But JC made me buy this. Like it was, I'm gonna call JC out. JC made me do it. It was JC. Okay, so I like it. I'm into it. Okay, I'm into it. I like it. Oh, somehow I got something on there. So I'm liking it. And it just kind of looks like the trees in the background. So I'm okay with that. I like the two colors. I think that's great. Yes, you could, for holidays, you could start adding things, And we have some beautiful bird dyes as well. The bird of the mountain, I think, would be too big, but we have the cranes. I think you could make the cranes, and I think you could have a crane going across, and I think that would be absolutely beautiful. So you could try that. So let's go ahead and let's clean our stencil off because I want to do that 2-color thingy again. And that is the technical name, the 2-color thingy. So if you are looking or wondering what it's called, it's the 2-color thingy. 2-color thingy technique. There. We'll make it sound official. We'll add technique at the end. That's what makes it official, right? All right. Here we go. Woo. Okay. I got my tape stuck to my thing there. All right. So this time we're still going to do this same thing because I want that light green in the back. Okay. I want it to look like a lush forest there. And this isn't lining up as perfect as it did with my other one, but I can adjust it. So I must have, let me see. And that's okay. It's all right. We're going to go with it. We're going to go with it. So what I want to do is I want to have this green. I want it to come up in here in this little point as well. Yeah, the cranes would be gorgeous. They really would. If I had thought of this, I tend to create on the fly with you guys. That's why it's always a crafty adventure, is because I go where kind of you guys and I go. It's that's why I wanted it to be, a crafty adventure, is because I wanted it to be something where we would inspire each other, or you guys had a suggestion and maybe we could try that. And, I just want it to be like a fun road trip, a crafty road trip. All right, so we've got our layer down, air balloons. Oh my gosh, that would be gorgeous. All right, let's do a bigger tree over here because we have the space. So let's put this, I really kind of want to fit that in there. All right, and we'll grab the right blending tool in theory. Okay, it's got a nice big kind of tree texture there. And then remember, I want to get in these tree tops so people know these are trees. And you could layer these up as well. But it's funny because, you think, why would there be all treetops there? But it's kind of working. It's kind of fooling the eye, enough, I think, that it kind of works. All right. And sometimes that's all you need, that's all you need is just for as picky as our eyes can be and as difficult as they can be, when we're doing a card, like, you got to think of the rule of 3 on your card panel, and it likes things in groups of 3, and So as picky as our eyes can be, it's nice sometimes when you can fool your eyes into thinking, because our eyes control a lot of our crafting. They really do. All right, so let's do the reveal. Now you could keep going on. So yes, that's exactly, Tracy, exactly. I was leaving the cranes so you guys could try them. So there, and I mean, it looks a little funny because my treetop is coming up on, but you have to, sometimes you have to step away and just be like, you know what, it's the idea and people are going to get the idea, you know? So sometimes I think that just has to be where that's kind of the thing. All right. But I think this will fool eyes enough. So you get that kind of tree look in there. You guys, if you put the cranes and you make this card, please tag me. I would love to see that. That would be so amazing. So we have these. So now we have to have something with sentiments. So I forgot to pull out a sentiment. So let me grab one over here. See what I have. Okay, I got my botanical illustrations that I used last time, was handy. So we can do a straight sentiment, or the other thing that I like to do at this stage, these are the essential sentiments. Maybe we'll do the essential sentiments. And I just foil a bunch of them in a bunch of different colors. As you can see, I have red, I have like a, what color is that? It's not copper, it's bronze, not bronze. It's like a brownie kind of color. So I have a bunch of these. So then it's kind of picking out, what do I want to say? And what color goes nicely? Like this red one, I think would work well over on this panel, the thank you. I can come in some here. So I think that would work well on that panel. And then we can create, gold goes with everything in my humble opinion. So we have the happy birthday. But since I'm on the gray over here, I had some in, I think this was opaque. I don't remember the color I used on this one, but it's a grayish kind of foily color. So I could put that one on there. And yeah, you could also, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and you could get out your foiling machine with your parchment cardstock, and you could go ahead and foil some more sentiments from there as well. Just trying to move these. I was going to show you guys, since we have a few more minutes and my stencils aren't clean yet, I was just going to do another mountain. No trees this time, but I was going to do another mountain and just show you guys on white, just to show you the difference. We'll still use the dried petals. Okay. Yeah, I know. I do like the trees though. I like the way the trees turned out. I'm happy with my trees. Okay, so I've got this one. So let me just trim this and not try to do math on the fly, because that's not going to be good for anybody. I need my math done in the beginning. So let's do one really quickly with same stencils. Okay. But just, I want to show you the difference, because I can tell you how different it is, but I should have shown you with that as well. All right. So we have the original stencil is all clean. So I'm just going to line this up. We may not have time to do the sunshine, but so this one, let's start with pink crystal. And this is, for me, this is the fun bit. I'm looking at 8 colors in front of me, and it's like, what color do I want? What do I want to pick? Because I know these families work together. So it's like, what do I want? All right. And I know what I want. I want to blend it quickly. So I'm getting out the big fella. Okay. And he has some Berrylicious on there. So I'm just going to go really light and use whatever is on the blending tool. And then I'll add in some of the pink crystal. So let's just blend that. And actually, you know what? We may not need the pink crystal. This is just leftover. I think it's Berrylicious from the color. And I do remember I was doing some ombre with this color family. All right, so we've got the pink. So now let's head on over and let's do burnt red. Let's do burnt red. Let's jump. Let's jump. Why not? And on here is some mauve, but that's okay. I haven't cleaned my stencil. No worries. No worries. We're just going. We're not worried about it. Grab some burnt red. If my colors mix, I'm okay. Right? So we got some burnt reds. Okay. Because remember, last time we used a 1, we used a 2, and we used 3. So this time we're using 1, 3, and then I may use another 3 and a 4. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. That's where my thought process is going. Now, the other good thing is if you want to do this, you can also blend it a little lighter. Okay, so I can blend my burnt red on, but it could be a little bit lighter. So I wouldn't have to worry about having to have, darker colors. All right. So here we go. We got pink and red. Okay. But then we're going to bring in some magic. So here I am going to wipe this one down a little bit, or we can clean it. Why not? All right, I knew there was a fiddly bit, and I didn't want the fiddly bit to get roughed up. My stencils get roughed up usually because I am like a bull in a china shop. All right, and then a little on the back there, but it's okay. All right, so then we'll bring this back in. Okay. So now we are going to go, and I'll just line it right up. Okay, and I can see with the outline, I can see the basic outline and then the etched lines. So we're going to go Berrylicious. Okay. And I think then we're going to go mahogany bark. So we'll clean the next stencil too. So I'm really going to put this on there because, again, remember, it's the paper that you start with is going to be kind of one of your biggest determining factors, because how much color do you have to put in? With a parchment, you have to kind of put a little bit more oomph into it with your colors, as opposed to a white cardstock. It's already it's such a contrast, right? Because we're starting with this beautiful, luscious, dark, pink kind of wine color, and it's so beautiful. But we're starting at a point that is really, really light. And then our first color was really light, so we kept up with that. And then we're adding these darker colors. Okay, so here we go. So we have pink crystal, burnt reds, and Berrylicious so far. Okay, now we're going to go to, got tape everywhere. Emery's going to have so much fun later. Now we're going to use mahogany bark, and it may seem a little scary, but don't be scared, my dear friends. Okay, and again, what you can do is, if it scares you, if you're like, oh, I don't know, I wouldn't put that color together, I don't know, think of it this way. Put it on light, because you can, if you start light, you can always go in with a darker color. So if you put on the mahogany bark and then you end up going, that's really not my jam. What do I do? Don't put it on full force. I'm going to, because I'm committed to it. I think it's going to be pretty and I'm going to like it. So I'm going in bull in china shop, but that's just me. That's how I live my life, bull in china shop. So I don't know any other way to do it. So I'm going right in there. I'm committing to the color. But again, you can go lighter and see if you like it, because you can't take color away, but you can always add it. Always, always. All right. Down there, I noticed a little. Okay. All right. Are we ready for the reveal? Are we ready? So, I mean, I probably should have stuck with the same colors because kind of comparing paper, but really a pretty effect. And then we still have a minute. So I'm going to show you this. So this is the carrier sheet for my masking paper. There we go. So I'm going to put that down. And since I have, 85 pieces of tape here, I'm just going to get that where I want it. Now I'll still have to be careful on the top. Okay. You still want to be super careful there. But we'll get that as lined up as we want it. And then I'm just going to put that there. And it's a slick surface, so it's not going to really tape down, but it'll hold it enough so that I can do what I want to do. Now you could, as you can see, you can have the whole sun be there if you want to. Got piles of dirty stencils here. Okay, and then we had these. Luckily, I didn't move these away. We'll go with our cherry sweet. Okay. And again, this is going to look different because it's on that white cardstock. So you're starting at such a light place. All right. And then we'll come in with our orange, Tangerine Dream. And these, check these out. These are on sale this week. I'm 99.9% sure I saw them on there. So check that out. And then again, I'm going to blend off and then on. Okay. You could also add, I think a pink would be pretty in here. You could have some purples and teals. And I highly recommend the Amy Tan collab inks with Altenew. They're just, oh, they're so pretty. They're so vibrant and gorgeous and bright. And it's like Amy Tan in an ink color. They did such a good job with those, Amy and Altenew. Okay, and then we'll come up here, okay, and blend in our nice yellow tone. And now we don't have to worry about it. We can just blend out here because we've got that shape behind the mountain. That's really the critical kind of piece. I was a little bit off, but what you can do, okay, all you do to fix this is go like this, okay, and I'll take my circle again, make sure I've got my circle here. Actually, I don't even really need my circle. I just need my cherry sweet, my blending tool, and I can fix that. Oh, I do need my circle over there. All right. So got my circle. Okay. And I can just blend a darker base all around that. Okay. Then I'll move this over here. Get my circle over there. I highly recommend this stencil too. Like I said, it's a nice stencil to create backgrounds, to create interest when you're blending. And then if you have done what I did and you were like, whoopsie, it might be good to reinforce your orange as well. Okay. I'm excited to peel this up and see. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so excited to peel this up and see what it looks like. Okay. Ooh, if I can close my ink pad. All right. Here. All right. So let's go ahead and peel that up. There we go. So I was able to fix it pretty easily with my stencil. So, and then you can also see as well, putting that sun bigger. I don't want to stick anything in here. Guys got quiet all of a sudden. It got very, very quiet. All right, let me move some stuff just quickly out of the way so that you guys can have a look at the cards we created today. But so from today, I hope that you will try mixing and matching similar families. Okay. And if you don't know if it's a similar family, give it a whirl. You know, if you think it looks like it goes well together, give it a try. I mean, it's just, I know people say it's just paper, but I know paper is expensive, but you know, you could try it on a little swatch, just do a little bit of the mountain on a swatch and see if it comes out to where you like it. Do a portion of it. If you like the part you do on the swatch, then go ahead and, you know, create the full one with all the colors that you have. All right, tuck that in there. Hello, Vanessa. Hello. Yay, people are talking again. Okay, close your eyes if you have vertigo. We're going up. All right, there we go. Okay, so this was the inspiration card, my son's birthday card. So that's the inspiration. And this is that kind of brown coppery kind of, I don't know what the color's called, but it's, yeah. So this is our one on white. Okay. Then we have the one on gray, which I'll move the sentiments out of the way. Okay. And that would be gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous with all grays. So here are the 3 cards. I thought we would only fit one in. And then also, you know, we started with our trees. I'd probably put my tree top up in that one. So it looks like it's there. But so also think about, hello. So think about the color of your cardstock. Think about intermingling families. I think also another thing that you could put down here that would be beautiful is blending some blues. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing. You're going to put that mask down that we had. Okay, so you would put the mask down like this, blend some blues, have it be darker here. So it looks like the mountain is sitting in water, so to speak. Hopefully that makes sense. So it looks like the mountain is in, because a lot of mountains, you know, you find lakes or streams next to them. So yeah, so keep that in mind. But I hope that you will intermingle some color families. I hope that you will try them on different colored cardstocks. And I hope that you will mix and match your stencils, because we used 3 stencils today. And I think pretty effectively. And I like this big, I like this, I think, better than this. This is more subtle, but ooh, the color. And yeah, so, and if anybody tries it with the cranes, please let me know. I would be so super excited to see the cranes on here and how I think they would be gorgeous on there. So if you make any cards, please tag me in the fan group. I would love to see what you guys create with these. So thank you. Yay! I can't wait to see. I'm so excited. It's one of those things where, you know, when you're picking something to share with folks, you're like, is this too simple? You know, is this something that they're like, oh, I can stencil? But I think on this, it's more about thinking about color mixing, thinking about paper mixing, and thinking about stencil mixing. So, you know, one stencil looks beautiful, of course. Altenew does an amazing job. But when you mix and mingle the stencils, it's like, ooh, what else can I do? So I hope this was helpful for all of you. I can't wait to see you all again. I think I see you pretty soon. I think I see you back on February 5th. So I think a week from today, I get to see you guys again and craft along with you again, which is so exciting. So until then, my dear friends, I hope you are well. I hope you're crafting a lot. And thank you from all of us at Altenew for allowing us to help you craft your life. And we'll see you very, very soon. Bye, everyone.